Hi, and welcome again to another episode of My Boomer Buddies podcast, where we tell it like it was and is. I'm joined by Boomer Buddy favorite Terry Walsh. Welcome back, Terry.
Thanks for having me, Rick. This is so fun to do, and I love today's topic.
Yeah, why don't you tell us what the topic is?
Summertime songs.
So we broke it out in a couple different ways. We've got column A, which is songs that have summer in the title. And then column B are songs that just were popular in the summer, bring back memories, or they may have been released at another time, but you associate them with summer. What is your all-time favorite summer song? Do you have one?
As a young person, I liked See You in September. That was a good one. I liked Where the Boys Are. I know that's not summer, it's spring break, but
Yeah.
that was such a awesome movie back then.
Yeah. See You in September was The Happenings. Where the Boys Are was Connie Francis. What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw out one of the
Yes.
earliest one is from the 50s, Summertime, Summertime by the Jamies. And then, of course, Summertime Blues by Eddie Cochran. He died way too young at age 21. He didn't get to have more success
Oh,
after
wow.
that. Great song. But in homage, other bands have done that, like Blue Cheer and The Who, to name a few.
Yes, and local bands. Local
Oh, yeah.
bands still play it and dance bands. People love dancing to that song.
So it became immortal. Here's a song, Terry, that you texted over to me that Itsy Bitsy Teenie Weenie Yellow Polka Dot Bikini by Brian Hyland.
My parents played that one. I think probably when we were at our cabin and stuff, there was always music going on, and my mom played the stereo a lot at home, and I remember hearing that. That was kind of risque for back in the 60s.
Yeah, it's kind of a novelty song, wasn't it, in a way?
It
Playing it.
definitely was.
Another summer song from 1960 was Kathy's Clown by the Everly Brothers.
Yes.
And in 1961, we had Tossin' and Turnin' by Bobby Lewis. And in
Yes.
1962 brought us some summer hits with The Locomotion, The Leva, Sealed with a Kiss,
Okay, I
Brian Hyland,
remember that one.
Up on the Roof,
Oh,
The
I
Drifters.
loved that one.
That's
On
a
the Roof,
timeless song.
yes.
Mm,
Definitely a summer song. It is.
absolutely. And then in 1963, Terry, you had the first release of Wipeout by the Safaris.
Wipe Out. Wipe Out. That was so good. Every drummer would carry their drumsticks around and try and play that song. Great memory.
And they released it again in 1965,
Definitely.
1966, and 1973. So very popular, timeless song.
Every drummer wanted to play that 'cause then they were a real drummer.
And a couple of 62 songs from the summer that I should mention. I'm going back a year. You had the Wah Watusi by the Orlons, and you had Sherry
Oh.
Baby. That was by the Four Seasons.
Yes, I loved Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
And then 1963 brought us Lazy, Hazy, Crazy Days of Summer, Nat King Cole.
Yes, my mom had that record, that whole album. She played that frequently.
And that song, Terry, I can remember being a wee lad hearing that on the radio as we were going to a family reunion picnic, and it just summed up summer so well.
Did. It was a great song and good to sing along to.
And another band that just about every song you think of is summer is Surfin' USA by the Beach Boys from 1963.
Yeah, they sum up summer totally. I mean, every song they did. California Girls. Everybody wanted to be a California girl or at least go to California. They did Surfin' USA. Everybody
Surfin'
wanted to be a
USA.
surfer. It's still played today.
And then, of course, you had Surf City by Jan and Dean. You also had Heat Wave, Martha and the Vandellas.
Heatwave. That was a great song. They did a great job on that one.
We are doing summertime songs. I'm here with Terry Walsh, Boomer buddy and friend. I'm Rick Reed, and we're going to go into 1964, a couple of songs that actually have summer in the title. A song called A Summer Song by Chad and Jeremy, 1964. Do you recall that song?
Yes, I do.
Whimsical. Very
There was a
whimsical.
lot of songs. Do you want to sing it?
You wouldn't want me to sing. I was president of the choir in high school, Terry, but all I did was eat the fundraiser
Uh-huh.
candy in the office.
Oh,
I was an okay singer, but we'll give the audience a break. I won't sing that. And then
okay.
another summer
Right.
song with the summer in the title is All Summer Long by the Beach Boys. 1964, another song,
Yes.
Terry, Under the Boardwalk, the Drifters.
Yes. A lot of bands still play that today.
Another 1964 song, I Get Around, the Beach Boys.
Beach Boys were awesome. They made up the summer songs. So,
They're all about summer, surfing, girls and cars, just
yeah.
great summer
Yeah.
band. And then, of course, you also
And
had Little Old Lady from Pasadena,
past.
Jan and Dean.
Yes. I remember that one well.
Now let's go to 1965, Terry. A theme from a summer place, the Letterman.
I liked the Letterman. They were great. They had so many good bands back then.
Oh, yeah. And great vocals, great harmonies. 1965, Terry. I
Yes.
remember this song so well, sitting in the car, coming back from church. It's hot. It's a song called I Can't Get No Satisfaction, the Rolling Stones.
Absolutely. They were just coming on the scene and they came on strong. Great songs.
Now, the story for that
One of
riff,
their best.
agreed. The story for that song is that Keith Richards had his tape recorder running and he fell asleep in his room. He did the na 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 na, and then you heard 40 minutes of snoring. Yeah, he left his recorder on. Thank goodness he had that on, or we would have probably never heard that song ever. He had a horn section in mind when he put that into his tape recorder. So it's a neat little story about
Yeah.
satisfaction.
Great story.
Can't Help Myself, Sugar Pie, Honey Bunch by the Four Tops. And then let's go into 1966 because there's a lot of really good summer songs there. And again, this isn't the definitive list. It's just Rick and Terry talking about summer songs. A Summer Wind,
Right.
Frank Sinatra.
That would have been on my mom's stereo. I was in just getting into junior high in 66, so listen more coming in age of listening to my own songs. So
And this song, A Summer Wind, is timeless. That whole summer feel with the orchestration and Frank's phrasing and his vocals on it. Just a wonderful summer song from 1966. And here's one that you probably had on your radio, your transistor radio, Terry. It's called Summer in the City by the Lovin'
yes,
Spoonful.
yes, I have that on my list. What a great song. That I'm sure hit number one on the charts because I remember everybody going around singing it.
And they made it sound like you were in traffic with the horns, and you just felt like it was a hot steamy summer day in New York City, just a great song. And I remember it
And
so well
and
when
you
I was a
wanted to
kid
get to
listening.
California.
Yeah, you wanted to do some California dreaming, huh? Yeah, another summer song from 1966 was Wild Thing by the Troggs.
Loved Wild Thing. That was very popular. A lot of people walking around singing that one. And that was remade. What I'm not sure what year it was remade.
Well, they did a novelty version. Senator Bobby, a guy imitated Bobby Kennedy and did a Wild Thing version. And I know it's been recorded a lot of times. It
Okay,
was in the movie Major League? Is that the
definitely.
movie it was in? Wild Thing, the pitcher. So that song has had a lot of life through the years. Wild
Yes.
Thing.
Yeah.
Terry, here's a song from 1966 summer that you probably loved.
Oh,
Sunshine Superman by Donovan.
oh, definitely. Yes. Wow, there's so many.
I've got more.
Okay.
66 had so many. That was right in the wheelhouse of summer songs as a kid for me. You also had Sunny Afternoon by the Kinks.
Yes, I remember that one. Taking me
And then
back
you,
in time to junior high.
and then you had Red Rubber Ball by The Circle, a Paul Simon song.
I That was my favorite. I loved Red Rubber Ball. Oh, that was such a good song.
And then another song from 66 was Hanky Panky, Tommy James and the Shondells.
Yes. Good song. Good song. Tommy James had a lot of hits.
Very talented. And then the song that you mentioned earlier, See You in September by the Happenings, was from 66.
Yes, good song.
We're starting to get into the wheelhouse for you of songs that you remember that weren't necessarily played on your mom's stereo. Okay, and here you go. Come on down to my boat, baby.
Yes,
Every
good
mother's
one.
son. Love that song.
Every
Very simple.
That was a great
Yeah.
song. I think I'm saying that about every song,
Well,
but
that's just
so
it.
many
We're
great songs during that.
Yeah, we're boomer kids, right? And this is what's playing on the radio.
Are.
They play it every 15 minutes, it seemed like, but you just loved it. That's what we're going over now.
Yes,
Summertime songs from the 60s. And
yes.
we're going to hit some 70s. Let's talk about some more. I'm going to just rifle through them real quick. You had Good Vibrations, Beach Boys in 67. You had a Little Bit of Soul by the Music Explosion. You had Light My Fire by the Doors. It was all summertime. Just good memories.
Definitely full memories.
68 was a good year for songs as well. And you had Summertime, Big Brother and the Holding Company with Janis Joplin. And you had mentioned Summertime was done in jazzy and soulful ways by other groups as part of the play Porgy and Bess, Gershwin.
Yeah, it was a very soulful, jazzy song. You can just picture the artist standing in a smoke-filled room with, just like a little light bulb with cigarette smoke and singing in that jazzy tone of voice, jazzy movements.
It's a song that really elicits emotions. Like you said, it was a great song and it's covered by a lot of people. In 68, you also had Stone Soul Picnic by the Fifth Dimension.
Yes, yes.
And you had Ichiku Park by the Small Faces.
I remember the song, definitely. Were they a one-hit wonder?
They had hits. They were very big in Great Britain. Biggest hit here, definitely. They had some really good songs, but not as popular as that one. And then you had Born to Be Wild, Steppenwolf.
Everybody loved that one. That was a good motorcycle song.
Oh, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Get your motor running. Oh, absolutely, a
Yeah,
summer song, a lot of energy. You also had Time of the Season by the Zombies.
that was really a pretty song.
Tere, you had Hawaii Five-O by the Ventures.
Yes, and still popular today.
Every high school band played it back then.
Basketball games, yes, we did play that.
Let's jump into 1969, Terry. One of my all-time favorite summer songs, Hot Fun in the Summertime, Sly and the Family Stone.
Sly and the Family Stone, yes, that was a good song. I have to think of another word because I keep saying that about all of them, but it makes me want to go out and go to the beach and just sit in the sand and, well, maybe sit on a chair at my age, but just listen to it. See all the
Well,
people with suntan lotion and kids
yeah,
running in the water, and the radio's pretty much all on the same two stations back in my day, either WDGY or KDWB.
yeah, mine too. And we're both doing this show out of the Twin Cities, separate suburbs. Those were the
Yes.
big radio stations. Another song from 69, People Got to Be Free by the Rascals. That was kind of a plea for peace, try to settle things down because of the assassinations in 1968. They were
Mhm.
just trying to reset the tone. And ironically, it's happening all over again, and we just got to cool everything
Ah,
the hell down.
that's right. We need peace. We need John Lennon singing Imagine.
Other songs from 1969, In the Year 2525, Zager and Evans.
Yes, I have a story about that one. My grandma lived up on a lake in Brainerd, and in the Brainerd paper every week, they would put one song and they'd have all the guitar chords for it. So my grandma cut it out for me. So, and then I went
That song,
around singing it the whole week I was up there. I'm sure they were glad when I went home. But yeah, good
that
memory.
was a
So I
crazy
think of my
song.
grandma.
Yeah, your grandma. I can
Yeah.
remember being 12 years old going up to my uncle's lake place up in Bacchus, Minnesota, and I brought my best friend, and we went out in the what do you call it? The sunset. We were out in a raft a small boat in the middle of the lake talking about girls. And what we didn't know, Terry, was that sound really travels on a lake to the shore. So they heard every word that we said.
Oh, funny.
Zager and Evans, 25 in the year
Oh, and
25
you thought you
25
were
brings
private.
and yeah, we were heard by everybody. Another song from 69, Honky Tonk Women by the Stones. And of course, the number one song, Terry, from 1969 wasn't even a real band. It was a cartoon called The Archies, and the song was Sugar Sugar.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I heard that in Mexico. We were walking on the streets of Nuevo Laredo on vacation, and that song was just blasting out. It was kind of funny to hear it.
Oh yeah, it became iconic. A bubblegum song, Ron Dante was the vocal on that. He was the Archies, and he also did a song under the name the Cufflinks called Tracy. Remember that
Yeah,
song?
love that song
Yeah,
too.
Ron Dante, same as the Archies. Let's move into 1970. All right, we're
Okay.
getting. Are you still in junior high by then?
No, I just started high school.
All right, I was in junior high. A song called "In the Summertime" by Mungo Jerry.
Yes. In the summertime when the weather is hot. I do
That's
remember. Great song.
a couple other summer songs, Terry, from 70. Mama Told Me Not to Come by Three Dog Night.
Yep. Three Dog Night had a lot of great hits. There's only one dog left though.
Yeah,
There's they
only
all
one dog.
they, yeah.
And then another song from 1970, Ooh Ooh Child by the Five Stair Steps.
Five Stairs. Okay. I
I
wasn't
love
sure
that
who did
song.
that one, but that was a
Yeah,
great song. That
things will
was
get
great.
easier. I have a summertime mix that I play through my hearing aids when I'm mowing the lawn, and that's one of the songs that I have, and I just love that song. Another one is
Yes.
Picture of Matchstick Men by the Status Quo. Just remind me of summer. Let's move on to 1971, Terry. The
Okay.
Summer Knows. It's also better known as the theme from the Summer of 42 by
Yeah.
Peter Nero,
Yes.
1971.
Yeah. That was a good movie.
You've Got a Friend, Carole King, from her
Yeah.
Tapestry album, one of the greatest albums
Yeah.
ever.
My favorite, my very favorite. And then James Taylor recorded it a few years later. And I have a 45 with James Taylor, and I definitely have the Tapestry album. Such great music.
Oh, yeah. Soundtrack from our
Yes.
boomer days. And then let's jump into 1972, Terry. School's Out, Alice Cooper. You sent that one over to me, and definitely that's an anthem.
My kids would come home from school the last day of school, and I'd have that blasting outside so they could all hear it. And they'd come home and get their little end of the day treat, whatever it was, bomb pops and they were free to have a good summer.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Summer Breeze, Seals and Crofts.
I have that right on my list. That was when I was in college. Loved that song. Loved it.
That was high school for me. And then a couple of summertime songs that doesn't have it in the title is Dancing in the Moonlight by King Harvest and Puppy Love by Donny Osmond.
King Harvest.
1973,
Yeah.
Donny Osmond. You laughing at Donny Osmond?
Good old Donnie. Yeah.
Hey,
Puppy love.
teenage idol. But that
I believe
guy had some real talent, still has talent.
he did. Still does.
Saw him in Joseph
Definitely.
and the Technicolor Dreamcoat here in the Twin Cities, and the guy was phenomenal. Let's move
Yes.
on to 73. I have one. It's one song written down for 73, and I know there's more. Again, this isn't the definitive list, it's just us talking about songs from summer. Little Willie by The Sweet. Little Willie won't go home. You can't push Willie around, Willie won't go.
Good
73.
sing along song.
Yeah. Can you imagine what James would say about that song?
I'm afraid to imagine what James would say about that song.
Well, we're talking about your
I don't
late
think
husband, James Walsh, Minnesota Hall of
yes.
Fame, nationally known musician, James Walsh. And then 1974, there was a song called Beach Baby.
Yeah.
Beach Baby by the First Class, and great summer
Yes.
song. The singer on that was Tony Burrows. Tony Burrows sang on quite a few one-hit wonder songs. Basically, they'd get studio musicians together. They'd record all these songs. I think they recorded a lot of these before Beach Baby in a 9-month period. And he was in
Yeah.
Edison Lighthouse, Love Grows Where My Rosemary Goes, The Brotherhood of Man, United We Stand, The Pipkins, Now Gimme Dat Ding. Also, he recorded with White Plains, My Baby Loves Lovin'. And then, of course, later on, Beach Baby. That was about 4 years later. So from 1970. Tony Burrows, just a prolific hit maker with these studio songs. You remember all those songs, those prolific one-hit wonder songs by Tony Burrows?
Yeah. Brings back a lot of memories.
Let's round this out here with 1975. Boomer buddy Dan Vikstrom wanted me to mention this song, Never Been Any Reason by Head East, because it's just been an anthem for summertime driving, partying up at college. This was from 75. Just brings back so many good times. Never Been Any Reason by Head East. The last songs we'll talk about are from 77 and 78. You mentioned Summer Nights by Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta.
Yes, I love that song. I've karaoke'd that song many times,
I'd
but
like to
it's
hear
a
you do
great
karaoke.
it's no, you wouldn't. I did win a few bottles of wine though.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
You're good enough,
there you go.
right? From 1976, there was Rich Girl by Hall & Oates. In 77, classic,
Yeah.
iconic, Margaritaville, Jimmy Buffett.
Oh, yeah. You can't forget Margaritaville. You know,
Oh,
people
it's
have
a whole
sung
vibe.
along with that and added yeah,
It's a year-round summer vibe with Margaritaville. In summer, anytime you hear it or sing it, right?
or drink a margarita.
Right. And then you've got Easy by the Commodores. That was from 77.
Oh,
That was just a nice, smooth song. Elicits summer
yes.
feelings and memories. Terry, let's close this out now. What do you want to say about summertime songs and how they affected your life?
They affected my life a lot growing up. I think I used to spend a lot of time with my girlfriend at Lake Nokomis. Her mom would drive us down there every day because we didn't live close. And then my dad would swing by and pick us up on the way home from work. And you'd hear the transistor radios blasting.
Yeah.
And, that was suntan lotion you'd slather on, which had no SPF at that time, but you're more concentrating on getting the darkest tan. Good time,
Yeah.
good swimming, good friends. Very nice time.
All
So,
these are not all the summer songs. It's not the list that everybody has to live by. It's just songs that either have summer in it or they elicit summer feelings and were popular in the summer, most of them. And we want to know below in the comments, Terry, I know you want to see too, any summer songs that you related to and whatever story you have behind it. And maybe we'll revisit this and share some of that if you'd like. But we would really love to hear from you and your thoughts about summer songs. And also let us know any other content that you'd like to hear from us.
yes, it'd be fun to hear some other people's stories. We like when you share things with us. It would be great to tell some of those stories on the program and just hear what other people thought about that or any other topic you would like us to touch on that you think baby boomers would like. We'd definitely like to hear from our audience.
So if you are watching on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe. We're just like kids you knew around the block back in the day, and we still hang out and talk. And we want you to feel like you're part of that block, so part of that neighborhood. If you're listening on Spotify or Buzzsprout, send an email to me at myboomerbuddies4, the number 4, myboomerbuddies4 at gmail.com. And I know Terry's got prints of her late husband, James Walsh, from Gypsy, Midas Touch. It's a beautiful poster and it's a limited edition. It's called James Walsh Then and Now. If you're watching on YouTube, it's on the screen right now. And Terry, tell us how they can get a hold of you if they're interested in getting one from you.
You can contact me at stew854@hotmail.com. That's STEW854@hotmail.com. And I will tell you how to get one. I appreciate you mentioning that, Rick, because it's really
Oh,
a
sure. Yeah.
beautiful print.
Yeah, we mentioned it in other episodes, but it's really something. It shows the musical history of one of Minnesota's best ever musicians and icons who had some national fame with a band that is known in a lot of cities across the country, especially St. Louis, Minneapolis, and out in California. It's just something that you really should have. It's a wonderful, wonderful piece to keep James' memory alive.
Yes, definitely.
All right. We had fun with this topic. Terry, there's so many more that I could probably mention if I really thought about it, but thank you all. If you're new to the show, welcome. We're so glad you watched. Hopefully you enjoyed this. And if you're a longtime listener, watcher, thanks for joining us again. Until next time, for my Boomer Buddies podcast, I'm Rick Reed. And for Terry Walsh, we'll see you
around the block.
If you enjoy this podcast and are viewing on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button on your screen, and share it with your friends, and feel free to comment below. You can also hear us on Spotify and Buzzsprout. Feel free to email comments to myboomerbuddies4@gmail.com.